What's good? What's good, world? It's your boy Mastermind Mind, and this is the weekday and weekend drop. Listen, man, it's the first of the month, well, second day of the month. And it's some stuff popping off in gaming, man. So listen, y'all know we rock, man. Shout out to the YouTube world that's over here, follow me, and the Anchor world over here, Spotify and everyone else. YouTube world, y'all be sure to check out the podcast Real Gamer on all platforms. I should pop right up, just type that in. Boom, we're there. Be sure to check out the previous episodes, get yourself caught up to what's going on now. Any other type of gaming news or whatnot. And for the Anchor people, follow me at Mastermind RGTV at YouTube. That should pop right up. Hopefully YouTube let me get some customs going on. But we here on YouTube and on Spotify and Anchor right now. So we're going to jump right in it, man. Like the 7th month out of 12 months. Listen, man, it's been a pretty hot month, a pretty hot summer already for gaming. E3, we're just hopping off the train of E3. We got rumors floating around the net. We got a bunch of games that's coming out on Xbox, new developers. We got new teams joining the PlayStation studio over there on their end. It's a lot happening in gaming. And one of the first things I'm going to touch right into, I said it's going to be the last thing, but I'm going to make it the first thing. It's the Hideo Kojima thing, the whole thing about he may be working with Xbox for an exclusive. Yo, the internet is going crazy because all of the PlayStation fans, it's like, yo, we don't want Xbox to have an exclusive from Hideo Kojima. They may get something like Metal Gear Solid on Xbox. Trust me, I feel your pain, and I don't want that either. But I'm a gamer first, man. You know what I'm saying? So from his standpoint, it's like, you know, if him and his team work on a game to come to the Xbox, that's going to be great exposure. And plus, if it comes to the Xbox Game Pass, which 9 times out of 10, it probably will, that's going to be a really good look for Hideo Kojima and any other type of game that's going to be real similar to Death Stranding or Metal Gear Solid or whatnot. So from a business standpoint, I think it's actually a great idea. But from just a fan standpoint, oh, buddy, yeah, that's not going to be good for PlayStation. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying, those are just rumors and not an actual thing. But the other rumors, we are hearing that we may get a completely Metal Gear Solid remaster or like a remake or whatever of the very first Metal Gear Solid for PS5. And listen, that will be so incredible. Yeah, I know one of my biggest things, my biggest remake that I want for this year is Resident Evil 4. But if we mess around and get a Metal Gear Solid, oof. Listen, man. One of the things is about Metal Gear Solid, each Metal Gear Solid game got better and better and better. And for its graphics wise, the first Metal Gear Solid, the graphics was horrible. But back in the day, it was cool, but the graphics was horrible. It got to a point to where it was like, yo, I don't even want to play this Metal Gear Solid because the graphics look horrible. But imagine that same Metal Gear Solid having PS5 graphics, and it don't look so choppy, and it don't look so weird looking. So imagine that in real time where it's playing like Metal Gear Solid 5. Man, when I heard that these rumors, and shout out to Hip Hop Gamer, I think a long time ago, I think I remember him mentioning something back in the day. He mentioned it again on Twitter about a Metal Gear Solid remake. And in Death Stranding, the whole director's cut or whatever, there's, you know, the scene where he's in a box and we may get to play through like a map of Metal Gear Solid, the old Metal Gear Solid, like a map remake or something, maybe. Or anything dealing with Metal Gear Solid is like, oh, for real, like a go-to. But I remember Hip Hop Gamer mentioning something about an exclusive for PlayStation and something that'd be a real good look for PlayStation, which will probably be a Metal Gear Solid remake. Yo, he got the insides and a bunch of stuff. And if we get a Metal Gear Solid remake for PS5, that's gonna be dope. And then Xbox get a brand new IP from Hideo Kojima. That's one of them like, all right, PlayStation fans, I know y'all mad at me for working with Xbox to deliver a brand new IP let me go ahead and give y'all something that I know y'all gonna love, which is a Metal Gear Solid 1 remake. Let me give y'all that, and then let Xbox have this brand new IP, and then everybody just shut up and be quiet. And you know what I'm saying? I'm getting money from both sides, PlayStation and Xbox. So I wouldn't be mad if you do that, because eventually, whatever new IP Xbox is getting, I'm pretty sure it's gonna probably come to PlayStation. It's sooner or later. The same way Death Stranded is, you know what I'm saying, now on PC. You feel what I'm saying? So he was never really tied to like just one particular company to work with. So, you know what I'm saying? When I heard Death Stranded coming to PC, I was like, oh, that's no brainer. You know, he probably signed a 2-year deal with PlayStation or whatever. Then the 2 years is over, it comes to PC and Xbox or whatever. I wasn't shocked about that. So who knows? He may just do a deal with Xbox that may be for about 2 years, and then it comes to PlayStation. But while those 2 years is running on Xbox, PlayStation get an exclusive Metal Gear Solid 1 remake. That would be pretty dope. That's an even exchange. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be mad about that if something like that happened. So pretty pumped about that, but I hope those rumors are not true for the Xbox, because I'm a PlayStation fan, but at the end of the day, I'm a gamer first. So from a business perspective, that's really good on his end, and can't be mad at you. You know what I'm saying? So moving on to some more stuff. One thing was the Ghost of Tsushima game, the DLC for that, or the director's cut for that or whatnot, coming to the PS5. So it looks good. Now I looked at the trailer. I didn't see the 4K trailer, but I did look at the trailer, like 720p or like 1080p or whatever. And now don't get me wrong, the game looks amazing. I don't own the game. I would actually probably pick this version up for the PS5. And plus, you're getting, for those that own it on PS4, I think it's like $30 for the upgrade for PS5. And, you know what I'm saying, just normal price, $69 or whatever for PS5, completely edition. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, the game looks amazing. I'm pretty, and we heard nothing but good things behind the game. But there's some things like details. I seen it in the trailer, like a couple of details in some of the characters didn't quite look right. And I'm like, yo, wait a minute. These details ain't fixed on PS5? That's a problem. But again, I'm not going to judge it too heavy because it's not out yet. And I haven't played it. So I'm just going off speculations of just looking at the trailer, the new trailer they announced for the PS5. And I'm like, yo, whoa. Because Final Fantasy VII Remake details was horrible on the PS4. With the PS5 update, they fixed some of those detail errors they was having on the PS4. They fixed some of that stuff on PS5. You know, so for a game like this, it's like, whoa, I'm immediately spotted out like, whoa, some details on some of these characters. Like the dude ear didn't even look real. The ear looked like it was just drawed on, and you couldn't see anything else like a drawed on ear, but it didn't look like an ear, like it was just a paper ear or something. But like the grass and the weather and the environment, that shit look amazing. The brightness on the game, the colors, all that look amazing. Now, it do look a little bit better on the PS5. This is just going from the commercial. So, again, I'm not going to judge it too heavy, but this is my raw thoughts right now. The commercial PS5, I'm like, yo, it got to look better than this on the PS5. Don't get me wrong, it looked good. But I was just a little, what threw me off was like immediately noticing is the details of the character. And I was like, yo, wait a minute, these character details isn't that dope. So I started watching people playing it on the PS4, and I was like, well, you know, the detail is not right on PS4, but that proves my point to saying that PS5, and also drawing back to what I just said about Final Fantasy VII Remake, they should definitely improve these details in the character from the PS4 to the PS5 version. Now, the environment, well, all the things I just said that already look astonishing on the PS4, they probably just double down and it's going to look even more better on the PS5, which is cool. But all I'm saying is, let's work on these details in the characters. You know what I'm saying? And details in the environment. But so far, it looks really good other than that. And I'm pretty hyped that was like a no-brainer. I was like, yo, of course, that's going to come to PS5. That was one of the You name top 5 games on PS4, that's one of them. You know what I'm saying? So seeing that game on the PS5 is like, oh, I knew that was coming. You know what I'm saying? So not surprised by it, but like, okay, when? Got my eye on that. Moving on, talk about something else, man. Dark Space is it? No, I said Dark Space. Dead Space guy is also working on something now. I'm not really a big fan on Dead Space or whatnot, but shout out to the homie Vic. The homie Vic was a big fan of Dead Space. You know what I'm saying? And Dead Space is actually working on something, a new game, a new Dead Space game. So don't really know the details of it or anything, but it's gonna be pretty exciting to see what Dead Space got to offer. Wasn't a bad game. I just wasn't a big fan of it, but they're working on something new. Speaking of something new, this month, listen, EA is dropping something. EA got this whole Play Live event that's popping off. Shout out to everyone that's on Twitter. I'll be retweeting or whatnot. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, Master23Mind. EA got this event. They got an event. They got an event going from the 8th, 13th, 19th, and the 20th, and the 22nd of this month. So it's gonna be pretty exciting to see what EA has to offer. We may see Sims new update. Not Sims new update, but like a Sims new DLC or something. We'll probably definitely see new Madden. What else EA? Them are the only two things I can think of right now off the top of the dome that EA is probably working on. But it's going to be pretty exciting to see what EA got to offer. Now, speaking of other things to offer, Xbox got a partnership deal with DICE. These are the guys that's working on a whole new Battlefield or whatever. The new Battlefield. So, with that being said, that's only right because Call of Duty has a partnership with PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? And who's the biggest Call of Duty competitor? Battlefield. You know what I'm saying? Coming from all of the classic. I'm speaking to the classic gamers right now. From the gamers that know something about some of the old Call of Duty back in the day and the old Battlefield. You know, you had your buddy that played Battlefield. You had another buddy that played Call of Duty. And like, I beat you in Call of Duty. You probably beat me in Call of Duty, but I'll beat you in Battlefield. Battlefield and Call of Duty was always like the two games you speak of when it comes to first-person shooter or just like army game shooter. You know what I'm saying? So it's only right seeing Xbox partnership with DICE for the whole new Battlefield. They may get exclusive content, DLC maps or whatnot, and then later on come out with PlayStation the same way PlayStation do with Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? So wasn't too much surprise about that or even seeing that. Kind of knew that was going to happen. Remember I was speaking about, you know what I'm saying, Sony teaming up with other people, different partnerships. They're working with other people to the studios or whatnot, to the whole PlayStation studios or whatnot. We're seeing a lot of stuff transpire within this year of just 2021. You feel what I'm saying? So, imagine how next year is going to be. I'm going to look back at this podcast next year and say, all those studios that Xbox and PlayStation was reaching out to get or teaming up with to make new games or whatnot, it's going to be a completely different conversation next year. Because, we got the VR2 dropping maybe sometime next year or whatever. We still don't know too much about that. PlayStation still hasn't came out and spoke about any of this stuff yet. We'll probably get a PlayStation show maybe this month or probably September, maybe. If we don't get anything this month, maybe September, I'd be shocked if we hear something in August. If we do hear something in August, it's not going to be about VR or anything. It's just going to be some new PlayStation updates on what's going on with game releases, game updates on other games they're probably working on. We'll probably hear that in August. But for this month, I don't really know what they can, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff they can kind of talk about, but I don't really know what would be the main event. Honestly, you know what? I take that back. Honestly, the main event would be things like what Hideo Kojima is doing, Ghost of Tsushima. These things would be because the Ghost of Tsushima game is not coming out until I think August, if I'm not mistaken. It's coming out in August. So with that being said, it's going to be some things to talk about. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of things to talk about with that game. And not to mention, there's other games that I don't even mention here on the podcast. There's so many games to really keep up with. I'm just a one-man show here. It's a lot of games that I don't even mention on the podcast that's definitely hot. You know what I'm saying? Indie games that's definitely popping off, that's hot. You know what I'm saying? So we may get some this month and even in August. So I take that back. I probably wouldn't be surprised. Now, let me go ahead and go do my rants about Nintendo and the future of gaming. So, the whole thing about what Xbox is doing with the whole Game Pass, and you know what I'm saying, we didn't see any new Nintendo Switch Pro during E3. Let's talk about it. So, they claim that a lot of this stuff is in production or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yo, what if Nintendo did something like a Nintendo Game Pass? Now, y'all know, man, for those that's really big fans of the podcast and all we rock here, y'all know when I go on these Nintendo rants or the future of gaming, some of this stuff come true, some of it don't. You know what I'm saying? So I was back just, kind of just thinking, like, yo, I probably said this on previous segments before. What if Nintendo do a Game Pass like Xbox? Now, what Xbox is doing for the whole Game Pass is definitely a great idea, but it's not necessarily like a long-term win. It's more like a short-term win, but at the same time, salute to these guys. I love it because of the mere fact that, let's say you pay X amount of dollars, you know what I'm saying, you have access to pretty much a whole freaking database of games and new games when they first come out. Let's say if you don't even want to pay the $69 for the new Halo. You just want to play it for a little short time. You want to have a good time, but not for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Game Pass come in at. That'd be awesome. Nintendo, you got all the characters, you got all the history of games or whatever. What if Nintendo drop a Game Pass for the next Nintendo console that's coming out? So let's say by November, let's say August, we hear new news about Nintendo Switch Pro, or either the end of this month, we hear new news about Nintendo Switch Pro. Boom. The hype is up. It's building up. Then they come out by, you know what I'm saying, September, October around that time, release it, probably December, November, it comes out. But before it's released, they come out and say, hey, we got something similar like Game Pass. We got an answer to PlayStation. We got an answer to Xbox. We got something real similar to Xbox, like the Game Pass. Our Game Pass is here something like you can play 64 titles, in N64 titles, your favorite N64 titles. The controller is now remapped. You know what I'm saying? Imagine playing Perfect Dark. Graphics, of course, a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Up the graphics, of course, enhance the graphics, just a little bit. It ain't got to be nothing serious. It ain't got to be no PS5 graphics or nothing. But we're talking about, imagine playing our favorite couch co-op games on the go with other people across from us. With that being said, Nintendo got to work on network ability. That's something they already started working on, better network ability. They got to also work on the community like voice chats or whatnot. They've already started working on these things. So what I'm saying is not nothing that just pie in the sky, just out talking. These things are technically kind of possible. It's just up to the developers or the team or whoever marketing Nintendo to make these things possible. You feel what I'm saying? So what if, again, this is just what if, I like to rain on my future predictions of games, maybe come true, hopefully do. Because at the end of the day, this is definitely a good win for all of us gamers. You playing your favorite GoldenEye game or whatever, classic games, GameCube games, N64, Super Nintendo games, right there on the fly, console, in hand, you know what I'm saying, couch co-op. We need more couch co-op. Who do a good job at that? Nintendo. Who don't do a good job at that? PlayStation and Xbox maybe? Don't you think? So what if Nintendo take the things they're already good at and add it with some new innovation technology, or not necessarily new innovation technology, but just new ways of playing the Nintendo console that we already love. With that being said, imagine being able to play all of your old Nintendo games on the go, couch co-op still, universal controllers, you feel what I'm saying? And being able to play online with your friends with these classic games. You have a whole database of games and characters. Now, I know first person has probably disagreed with this and say, well, they don't own a license to a lot of this stuff. I know that. License and other developers and all this business, blah, blah, blah. If we can put all that stuff to the side and work together as a gaming community, you feel what I'm saying, developers and all that shit, put all business, put all that shit to the side. I know code and all that shit, man. Put all that to the side. Let's figure out how can we make this work for the gamers. That's the thing. That's the ideal I'm thinking there. All these barriers of, well, we don't own a license, or we're not prohibited to do this. This may cancel culture. This may offend someone because it's an older game. Screw all that. The real diehard gamers, man, I'm going to stay here speaking up for you guys because people like me, man, want this stuff to happen. And it's possible once we put all the other bull crap behind us, like license and all that. It's possible. So let's say we take the license out, do all that, take all this stuff out. Let's say if, perfect example, the team Rare. Some of the people at Rare is not even there anymore. I understand that. Let's say the people at Rare, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, perfect example. Perfect example. It's just like Konami and Hideo Kojima squash their beef and come back together to make a brand new Metal Gear Solid. Perfect example. The people over there at Rare that made Banjo-Kazooie, Perfect Dark, and other games is under the Rare umbrella. I say Rare because it's the first squad I can kind of think of right off the top of my head because of Perfect Dark. The people at Rare get with some of the older people at Rare. They make an agreement. Hey, let's do something for the gamers. Nintendo approached them first. Hey, Xbox, I know y'all own majority rights of Rare or whatever, Banjo-Kazooie, Perfect Dark, or whatever. Let's work together to bring an experience to the gamers. You can make it universal. I don't care how you do it. Just make it happen. And if you really want to get technical to it to where it's some type of competition, an exclusive deal with Nintendo for their Nintendo Game Pass or Cloud Pass or whatever you want to call it, whatever. And then release that same game. Well, again, we're just talking. If it's a new game, yeah, release it on Xbox console or whatever, PlayStation, whatever. But I'm talking about classic games. You know what I'm saying? Classic games just for the new Nintendo console. That's, again, these are just things that can kind of keep the hype of Nintendo up. We know y'all gonna have a new Smash Brothers. We know y'all gonna have these characters coming to Smash Bros. And I appreciate that. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate that. We got Tekken character coming to Smash Brothers. Oh yeah, hell yeah. We got Metal Gear Solid. We got Snake going up against the Tekken character on Super Smash Brothers. Hell yeah, I appreciate that. Nintendo, I actually got a Switch. I would buy Super Smash Brothers just because they're bringing these characters onto the game. You feel what I'm saying? So let's not get it twisted. This is not no talk to just shit on Nintendo or talk bad about any developers or Xbox or anything. This is all just passion and love for all of them. I appreciate Nintendo doing that. Now what I want you to do is come out with a Game Pass like Xbox for all the old Nintendo games and let us play it and play together as a community and, you know, couch co-oping online. Imagine playing Perfect Dark with a squad of 4 people online. Who said that graphics gotta always be the thing? I think if we take the same idea for as we have with games now, playing online, esports competition and all that, take that same element and put it into older games. Now, I know it's going to take a lot of work. Maybe I need to talk with a couple of developers and they explain to me these things are not possible because of XYZ. I don't know what XYZ, why these things are not possible. Maybe that need to be explained to me. But at the same time, man, I'm just sitting here as a gamer and as a passionate gamer. I'm sitting here like, yo, I would love for, you know what I'm saying, a squad of 2 or a squad of 4 to team up and play against some guys online wherever they are in some Perfect Dark or Golden Hour, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you don't take it to the online experience, that same experience I said that we have with newer games, let's not even take it to that experience. Let's just take it to the point to where, all right, we're able to play our favorite games, old games, on a new Nintendo console by something that Nintendo introduced that's real similar to Xbox Game Pass. I'm not even going to go into PlayStation because y'all know how I feel about PlayStation. I'll probably come back with a PlayStation rant on the other show. But for right now, that's my rant about Nintendo. I can go on and on and on ranting about Nintendo. And it's not to just shit on Nintendo. These are only conversations from a passionate gamer. I have every console over there but an Xbox. But, you know, I just hope that Nintendo do the right things, and I want them to do better. You know? Because it's all about the hype, man. It's all about the hype. Before PS5 came out, the hype was there. You know what I'm saying? The hype for these games. Everyone is hype about a God of War. Speaking of God of War, we maybe get a trailer from the new God of War or some type of something from God of War at the next PlayStation event. That's rolling around on the internet saying we may get something about we may hear something about a new God of War, even though they pushed the date back, which I'm perfectly fine with. I was like, man, I was hoping we get, Horizon Forbidden West and God of War in 1 year. But we're not. Okay, that's cool. We still getting one. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, get it right. Make sure it's right. No bugs. Everything else. Because God of War, they do a great job at releasing games that don't really have a lot of bugs in it. God of War was, to me, damn near a perfect game when it came out. It didn't have a lot of bugs in it. So get it right. But we may be getting a trailer or something from God of War, the new God of War, when the next PlayStation event. Maybe. If we don't, fine. If we do, it's all about the hype. Because again, if we do, that's going to build a hype up for people like, oh shit, I forgot about the new God of War. Now seeing this trailer, I'm definitely going to get it. It's kind of like pre-orders. You know what I'm saying? So I think Nintendo, they don't do good at hyping things up. That's the main moral of my story. If they come out with something like that, that'll for sure keep everyone talking about Nintendo and keep the hype up there about Nintendo. That's the only thing I ask for. You know what I'm saying? So Nintendo, call whoever, your marketing guys, the president, call these guys up. Tell them come talk to me, a passionate gamer, real gamer. We just telling you like it is, man. Because I know for a fact, these things are done exactly how I'm saying they'll be done. Or I speak to these marketing team people and they be like, you know what? That's a great idea. We can actually make that possible. Hey, let's talk. Let's make it possible, man. Because all passionate gamers can really, really, really appreciate that. And really, I know they'd enjoy it. I know for a fact they would enjoy it. So, hey, that's my quick rant about Nintendo. Y'all know we rock man off the top of the dome. We'll be back for more throughout this month. New podcast, man. Be sure to check out the previous episode and previous episodes before that, because we always just talking gaming, news and gaming. You never know what we're going to be talking about in gaming. You never know who I may have on the show, future guests, past guests, whatever. You never know. So stay tuned for more. Be sure to follow me. Here's the plug for all of the social media outlets: TikTok, Twitter, IG, Master23Mind. MASTER23MIND. That's my main place. IG, YouTube. Yeah, the gaming page, Mastermind RGTV. That's MASTERMIND RGTV. So be sure to follow me there. And we out. Game on, people. Where the passion always live. Real gamer, baby.